Wood is a precious resource, and harvesting it properly is an art. Join lumberpro to discover the technology, techniques, and interesting stories behind each tree. In the silence of the forest, the rumbling of the chainsaw engine broke the peace. The worker held the handlebars firmly, tilting the saw blade gently into the tree trunk. Sawdust flew everywhere, giving off a strong smell of wood resin. The first cut opened the way for the journey to fell the tree. The sharp chainsaw blade cut through the tree at high speed, creating a clean cut. The worker moves precisely, bit by bit, driving the saw deeper into the tree trunk. The cuts become deeper, signaling the moment the tree falls. After the cuts were complete, the worker pulled out the saw and stepped back to observe. There was a cracking sound, and the tree began to tilt. In an instant, the entire giant tree fell, shaking the ground with a loud crash. Once the tree is on the forest floor, the chainsaw is used to prune the branches. Quick, clean cuts remove unruly roots and unwanted branches. The tree is now ready for transport. The branch trimmer operates at a precise speed, the sharp blades rotating continuously, cutting each branch cleanly in just a few seconds. When the tree trunk is placed on the processing wheel, the mechanical arms press tightly against the bark. The cutting blades glide quickly across the surface, removing all unnecessary branches and leaves. In just a moment, the tree trunk is smooth, ready for the next step. The task of dividing the tree trunk into even sections of wood. A giant saw blade slowly descends, cutting through each solid with grain. The machine roars, but chips fly out, leaving neat, even logs. The whole process takes place quickly, optimizing time and effort, bringing raw materials into the transport step in the most effective way. On the winding mountain pass, the curves seem to challenge the perseverance of the bulky trucks. Each time they turn, the truck bed tilted along the slope, causing the logs to shake as if they were about to spill out. The forest warriors continue to move forward, completing the task of bringing the logs safely to the factory. The muddy road proved a challenge for the heavily laden trucks. As the wheels sank deeper into the mud, the engines roared, but the truck could not move forward. Each spin of the wheels was futile, the mud flying everywhere, signaling a problem that required help. Another car at the back, pushing the rear of the stuck car. The engine roared, the strong pulling force coordinated smoothly between the two experienced drivers. Slowly but surely, the stuck car gradually got out of the mud. The wheels regained grip, continuing the journey carrying precious logs out of the forest. Transport route is not only a journey, but also an unforgettable mark for experienced drivers. They do not simply drive, but also fight against steep slopes, muddy roads that seem impossible to overcome. Mud mark on the road. Each steering stroke had to be carefully calculated to keep the heavy logs balanced behind. The sharp turns and rushing streams did not make them falter, but only further strengthened their courage and experience, helping them become true warriors on challenging roads. Once the logs are transported, the sorting process begins. Powerful mechanical arms or skilled workers quickly sort the wood by size and quality. The crane gently lifts each large log, placing them neatly into sturdy stacks. The cut boards are neatly stacked on shelves for the next step. The entire workshop is like a rhythmic painting, where people and machines work together to transform rough tree trunks into valuable raw materials. The rough logs will now enter the processing stage, being cut, treated, and finished to become useful products. From the solid blocks of wood from the deep forest, they will transform into smooth planks, durable items, continuing their journey in a new form. Once the logs are delivered to the workshop, the processing begins. The sound of machinery is heard. Sharp saw blades rotate, cutting through each grain of wood with precision. Large logs are fed into a cutter, which cuts them into neat planks. Wood chips and sawdust fly up, creating a thin layer of dust on the workshop floor. Workers quickly sort through each plank, arranging them according to thickness and size. The sharp sound of metal hitting wood rang out as the circular saw blade. Large logs were pushed in, the blade gliding across them with grain, creating smooth, precise cuts. Sawdust flew into the air, coating the workshop floor in a thin layer, while the newly cut boards revealed smooth surfaces, still with the fresh scent of wood. Skilled workers monitor each cut, ensuring the boards are of the correct thickness. After being sawn, the boards are neatly arranged, ready for the next processing step. The sawing process is not only the first step in the processing, but also determines the quality of the final product. The circular saw blade spun rapidly, the sharp saw teeth digging deep into the wood, each rotation like a strong bite, neatly separating each layer of wood. The sound echoed throughout the workshop, mixed with the smell of fresh tree resin. Small pieces of wood flew out with each cut, and thick boards gradually appeared, neat and flat as if meticulously trimmed. The saw blade continued to press down, cutting each large piece of wood like a giant cake, opening a new journey for the rough wood fibers.
Nuts!
In addition, wood scraps will be collected to be used as secondary materials, such as firewood crushed into sawdust. The whole factory operates smoothly. Each stage plays an important role in bringing complete products. In addition to logging, reforestation is an important step to ensure natural balance and maintain sustainable resources. New seedlings are planted, covering the bare land, continuing the cycle of life. Reforestation not only helps protect the environment, but also brings long-term benefits to the ecosystem, preserving soil, water, and creating habitats for many species. This is the responsibility to maintain green forests for future generations. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to continue following challenging logging journeys and discover interesting stages in the wood processing industry.